Hi, Gryoger here with another Let's Play Solo with Fantasy Grounds Virtual Tabletop. Alright, where we left our bold and brave adventurers. They were exploring a dungeon near Port Salen, trying to find a missing party. They have not been having any luck. And while I did put it in the text of the last mission, the way they'll have a chance of finding that other party is they need to have another encounter with goblins. If so, then we'll find out if any of the party they're looking for is still alive. But so far, they haven't found any goblins. These guys are determined to press on as long as possible, but they are starting to build up some wounds. And so they have determined that they have a plan. They've tried in this direction, and they've kind of snaked their way through, and they originally went that way because of the bloodstains, but with no luck. And they're getting further and further away from the start point, so they want to try the other directions. So their plan is to return back to the stairs, go upstairs, out of the dungeon, do a short rest, which will top them up and keep their spells high, not having as many spell slots, then come back down and search in the other directions. So, let's see how they do. Once again, we will start off by mass selecting these guys and moving them. Oops, looks like I only got part of them. Let's try that again. Ping mode, there we go. There they go. So, 1, 2, 3. 6 out of 6 die to get an encounter. Nope. 1, 2. I'm going in here because I want to take a look at it. They haven't been in this room before. So they also see another direction to go. 3. So is there an encounter right before they leave? 5, getting closer. By the way, there's a lot of solo systems where you roll and every time the odds get a little bit higher. I'm not doing it that way. All right, so they head up the stairs and have very little chance of having a random encounter during their short rest. 12 on a D12. Nine, pretty high, but not high enough. All right, so they get through their short rest. So let me tick off a couple of minutes returning back to the stairwell once, twice, and then they're going to do 60-minute short rest. Or I should just type it. But there you go. All right. This is that extension does that. So we will short rest them. Notice I wiped out their light source, except for the lantern. Presumably they would put the lantern out upstairs though. So let's go over to our players. So it doesn't feel like Vondel needs to do anything. Pickworth though is going to go ahead and roll. And he's healed. The rogue also is going to roll. Wow. These guys are maxing. Clearly their cause is just. And now, of course, the mage fortunately doesn't do it because he's overdue for a 1. All right. So our guys are feeling pretty good. Vondel's still got a scratch, but 1 point just isn't enough. to justify spinning the dice. And they are ready to go back downstairs. All right. There they are on the stairway. So their plan is to go try to sweep around. They're going to head south first, I think, and then try to sweep around in the counterclockwise. See if they can cover as much ground as possible. And let's see how that goes. All right, so let's get them back out of the stairwell. And we can turn this on. So they're going to head south. Let's see how things go. All right. Just to bring you up to speed, I have changed the early exploration table slightly. In fact, I'm going to clear the slot, get to the modules, and make sure it's been updated. All right, so I'm going to revert changes, which will update the table. Basically, I only changed the early exploration, no rooms tables, and it's pretty much cosmetic. I changed them. I realized one of the reasons I was having a problem detecting it is that because was rolling a D18, it wasn't actually rolling a dice. In this case, I've changed it to a D20, so now when I do early exploration, it'll actually roll a dice. And also, I tweaked the numbers slightly, so probably a little bit less chance of a dead end, but I doubt it significantly matters that much. All right, so we got a straight chamber heading south. Oh, wow. I was looking for the slider over there. I didn't see it. All right, 27. 27. Straight chamber. All right, back to exploring. What do we have in there? Oh, that also reminds me. One of the things I meant to mention. I made a slight mistake when the rogue was trying to remove that trap. My current tables are actually for 2024, so the DCs are harder. But he still failed, even though I went back and looked at what the DCs should have been. For those who don't know, one of the biggest changes in 2024 as compared to 2014, as far as power level of the PCs, there's power creep, obviously. One of the big places it did end up in is in if you have proficiency in both tools and the skill, you get advantage. This mostly applies to rogues, sleight of hand, and these tool proficiencies. So that means when they're removing traps and such, they actually have advantage. All right, down here we've got an empty chamber. Let's go ahead and it's got more water. Steam, okay. Carve into the roof. Sounds like some doors. So then we'll keep an eye on the floor. Tiptoeing through there, hoping not to fall through the floor. And I'll keep going. Back to play mode. That's in play mode. There we go. And they're going to head straight across. And let's see what else we got. Another a straight haul. Well, they're heading south. Okay. Another straight haul. Oh, the infamous rusty iron plates. Bound to make any party paranoid. So they'll slow down and check for traps, of course. But keep going. Now, 1, 2. The next table is actually on the normal. And let me go ahead and drag the thing back so it'll actually roll it. So we might find some rooms here. And we in fact find a room right away. 4-way. 43. There it is, the last one. 43. Goblins? We're looking for goblins. Could there be goblins holed up there where we can find our missing party? Oop, almost. There we go. All right, our 4-way room. What do we got in there? All right. Cool stuff. All right, so we got brass door. It's locked. So they're going to run their standard door opening procedure, which is basically similar to the old parties. The first guy, the rogue, will sneak up on the door. So he'll stealth up. Then he will check the door for traps. In this case, we happen to know it's locked, not trapped. And then he'll attempt to remove them. That's a low roll on that perception. He may not be aware the door's locked. Oh, that's interesting. When this thing is going down too far, it's losing the dice. All right. Let us go take a look at this lock. All right. We need to close that. We'll get back in a second. As you're wondering, it's better to put traps in as NPCs just because they're if they need to do damage and stuff like that. I want a door. And we want a lock door. So there's 3 types of locks. D3, top to bottom. So we got the bottom. We got a hard one. All right, let's get our thing open. I got the lock harder. Oops. I'm trying to drag it, but I don't want it right here. I want to click this first and then drop it. All right. So we don't have much else happening in this room other than doors. The first one is the only one that's locked. And we'll take a look at the rest of them. They appear to be fairly descriptive. Okay, so let's see if we can get this door. First, let's find out. Yeah, this is a hard one. It's kind of hard to tell the door's locked. Not locked. Did he get a 10 or something? Oh, he got an 11. All right, so he realizes the door's locked. He tries to pick it and gets a 12. Now he needs 20 because these are set for the 2025, so it's 5 less. He needs a 20. Now, the way I do this, if it's possible for him to pick it, which it is, because he could get a 27, the easiest way to deal with this, you could, if they're not in combat, particularly if you have players, there's no reason to make them roll over and over and over and over, because they're going to get it eventually. The way I tend to do it is I look at what they need, in this case a 20, and how far away did he roll from it. He rolled 7 away, so I would just say it goes up every round. So basically it would take this guy 7 rounds to pick it. Now if they're in combat, I would make them roll it if they're trying to lead through the door or something. So this is, usually, by default, it usually takes them a minute to deal with doors. So there you have it. This means you can effectively kind of skip over the whole unlocking doors, assuming that the guy is good enough to actually open it at all. The things that actually you do need to roll for are traps, because if you screw those up, they'll go off. All right, so now that we've done that, we know it's going to take him a minute to get the door open, and he's going to get his guys up front. Now, we know there's nothing in there, so I'm not going to actually do all that. Then we'll get the door opened. Doors open. And they will advance boldly. Take a look. So there's a lot of other doors. I'm going to go ahead and read some of this stuff. So the first door was brass-shaped handle. And it had this blue painted arcane eye at the top, okay? Cool stuff. And then you take a look at the room, which has got chalk marks. So, we're getting the arcane vibe here. There's gas. Oh, good. Natural gas. And it's collapsing. Probably an explosion or two. And so we can go straight across, which has got fur, double-sided wood. There's another brass one. Door, that's the left, the party's left, that's this way. Then the party's right is planks with an X, drawn in tar. Yeah. Not seeing much insight on any way to go. They're going to take... if they follow their plan, they probably want to go right or left. Because if they go this way, they can curve back up. They're still kind of more... Well, curving back up would not be bad. I think they're going to try right. They're right. And go up this way, and then hopefully cut across and go up the other way. All right, they're making pretty good time. They're going to open the stars. So we're outside of the early, so we're using normal. We got an end hall. We found our first dead end. Okay. Let's get our end hall back up. Is it specifically what we're avoiding with those early exploration tables, so we can make sure the dungeon gets to be fairly large. They're going to briefly walk down there to make sure they're missing something, but let's see if they find anything. I'll take a quick look down there, but don't see anything interesting. Come on. There we go. And that plan didn't work, so they're going to go the other way. Four-way hall. All right. That's not bad. 42, the answer to everything, including apparently a four-way hall. Pretty close. Right on the money. Okay. All right, what's in there? Worn stone, wooden reinforced planks. No sign of any goblins, though. Their plan is to head north. So they're well. No, as long as they're here, they could also look in all directions. I think they'll look east. Just to see. Straight and left. And we have parallel corridors there. 32. And This place is quiet. Too quiet. Stone floor. That sounds okay. 8-pointed star. Dwarves battling orcs. Okay. They will go ahead and move north here. We're going to try a sweep. We're starting to head back. 1, 2. This one's actually going to be diagonal. No. Yeah, 2. That one should be early. Straight right. Man, there's nothing here. Not that we worry about probabilities or anything, but yeah, they're going to get like 4 encounters in a row. Making good progress, though. Oh, I meant to read that. Oh, there's the lovely blood streaks. Oh, well, this could be, maybe they found a hint. I'm going to take a look around this room, see if they can ascertain anything. Any sign of goblins? No, it's just remind me, when these guys came down there, I did not do my bookkeeping. These guys should have lanterns, and the lantern's probably still running, but the light spell isn't. Yeah. Let's get that sorted out before I forget. So Pickworth cannot see in the dark. And I believe let's go ahead and get the light spell on him. In theory, his duration should be like an hour shorter, but it's not likely to matter. All right. So let's see. They've probably been walking around enough in another minute. They will look around trying to see if they can. I think Pickward had survival. See if they can see any sign of goblins or a missing party. Oh. Well, there's something going on. So you can look at these type of things as sometimes people use a three success rule. So he is seeing tracks of something. Doesn't know what it is, but the way I'll play this, if he finds places where it seems obvious to look for tracks, finds it 2 more times, then he's going to probably find the goblins, which means I'll trigger a goblin encounter. So let's now, if you guys use oracles or something similar, that obviously these are good questions for oracles. Though in this case, the emphasis is still on exploration and this type of thing, so I want them to be exploring, looking for goblins rather than just oracling. Oh, it's in three rooms to the left. All right. Speaking of which, they're going to continue. They found some trail, so I am going to say their inclination is going to be one of these ways, and I'll make it random. So odd, it's straight up north. If it's even, okay. So the tracks seem to be leading up this way. They're tracks of interest. Not sure if it's goblins, maybe the party, maybe something totally different. But they want to go investigate. So we're 1, 2. We're in that 555 area. Chamber left exit. 21. All right, so it's going to curve back the other way. And oh, chalk. Monster encounter. Could it be the goblins? All right, let's get our. All right, so this isn't the third. Like I told you, I was looking for the 3 times the charm type thing. So this is random. Now, if they hit goblins, it's going to be goblins. If he finds 2 more sets of tracks, there'll be goblins there as well. But let's see if he can find it a little bit earlier. Let's go back to play mode and let's see what we got. That reminds me, I also, in the last video, upgraded the monster tables on a side quest video. So I'm going to repin. Mostly I added some more CR1 quarters and moved around some of the monsters, slightly increasing the average experience per encounter. What I want tables, and I want random encounters. No, tomato. There. All right, so these are the ones I redid. Let's get this one. And I'm going to link the roll. And roll it. Looking for goblins. We got mains, not goblins. That's actually the monster I moved around, though it was already on the table. All right, mains. Let's get our back up. Some mains over there. And get them out. All right. We know what they are, so we'll just go ahead and identify them. All right, let's take a quick look at these guys. So, small fiends, chaotic evil, they're basically low on the totem pole of demons. These guys are only melee attacks, and have resistances, so they're a pain as far as parties. But the long range attacks means they're gonna have to close. They're small. The party's coming in. Let's get some out. So they're probably, I think these things are a little bit smarter than 3 intelligence. Yeah, they're a tiny bit smaller. That's about animal intelligence. So their basic tactics is to run at them and beat them to death. They're not particularly smart, so they're probably kind of just scattered around the room. And let's take a look at that. Let's see what the party sees. All right, I'm gonna get them in their proper party order. They're coming up. Let me double check. I think that's the right way. The bundle's on the right. There we go. Okay. The reason I'm doing this is, oh, we can't quite see them. All right. This means in mains we'll see the light. You can see the light right here. So they technically will get surprise, but it's not. They're going to use their surprise to run at these guys. This is where, if they were smarter, they would probably like try to hide around the corner, wait till they got closer, stuff like that. But they're not that smart. Now, an ambush predator, some animals are actually smart enough to do that. But these things, I do not think so. Let's go ahead and roll for our party. And yeah. So the party's surprised. So they're all going to go, wow. All right, yeah, let's go north. These tracks are looking intriguing. They're looking at the ground. Pickwork is anyway, because he's tracking. And, perhaps they're not quite as alert as they should be. They're discussing their find. Shining the lantern up. Bundle's got an eye. His eye's open. Looking north. These guys, Bren's probably looking to the west. Rogue's keeping an eye on the rear. That's when the mighty mains. It's one of these things. You got to think it was a typo one time. Main or plural and singular. Now, was that really a typo in the dawn of a D&D or not? All right. So these things only move 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The party's going, holy shit, there it is. There's something coming down. My God. Yeah, 1, 2. Can't take that hard corner. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this guy will also move. Oops. The shift? Nope. What about alt? That's alt. So he's going to move 40. I'm just doing it so I can count it in a hurry. Which is one of the best. That's 30. Which means 40 is 10 more up. There we go. All right, they come shambling forward. The party shakes off their surprise, and we head into the next round. Wow, the mains are totally excited about this whole thing as they decisively win initiative. Okay. All right. So he looks. They're not being picky at all. He immediately runs forward and tries to claw. Poor Vondel. Vondel the dwarf. Oh my God. He slashes poor Vondel. Ooh, takes him right to bloodied. The guy in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. By the way, the DM is allowed to arrange these things, but these are so dumb, I'm gonna not do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. He runs straight forward and had the double move. So this guy is gonna go 1, 2, 3. Actually, he'll just go 3 and slash at Pickworth. But misses. And the final guy, 1, 2, 3, 4. The guy blocked him. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And glare because he had a double move. Kid 3 goes, wow. We'll carefully set that lantern down. Gonna move over on Vondel's side because he's feeling things a little bit. Kid 3's got a rapier in hand. It's gonna go ahead and use the rapier. Rapier really is not a good weapon for rogues if they want to dual wield, and once they get better sneak attacks, they almost always do, because it gives you a second chance for your sneak attack. But it is a starting weapon, and it does a D8, which is exactly what we want right here. Doing lots of damage to this main. Oh, look at that. Got that 8, big 8, takes it down. So yeah, I just badmouthed the rapier, but there you go. And that's why some of them carry it anyway. Good job. Kid 3, so that was 1, 2. Trying to decide if Kid 3 can protect the mage any. Gonna kind of just stand back here on this side. Oh, the mage goes. All right. Let me get rid of that. And notice I'm not showing. That's kind of a mind game. I just like to little chance. Obviously, you can see it on the DM side who's going next, but I try to keep it spontaneous. He's probably has a passive arcana of 15. All right, so these are clearly not from this plane. So he tried on the Lemurs His fire didn't work. He's going to go ahead and go with cold, even though it does less damage, and see how that works for him. He wants a clear shot, so he is going to go one, fire straight up this way at this guy for no cover. Burning hands. So just looking. Magic missile is always good. Sleep. Let's try Ray of Frost. I got him. His fancy dice. And I do like a lot of the Fantasy Grounds dice. Yeah, so I went for cold. As soon as I find cold, there it is. All right, so it did resist it, but it also slows the main down. So he goes down to 10. The mage is going to fade back a little bit, especially see now that he's successfully slowed it. So he went 1, 2, 3. He doesn't want to get too far away from the party. But he wants to, these guys didn't look like they're fast. And if they want to come all the way for him, well, they'll give the rogue an opportunity. All right, Pickworth. Let me just double check Pickworth. Oops, I meant this one. There we go. Pickworth is not, all right, he's got his battle axe. He will clearly use that. He's going to focus fire. That guy's wounded on the side from the mage. He'll swing his battle axe at this guy. And hit. Bead of sweat. That was not a good roll, but their armor class doesn't look to be too good, which is good. And which is what these type of monsters are. These are type of monsters with a very low armor class, where the melee fighters are supposed to shine, while the mage has to deal with resistance. So he's got it to critical, but doesn't quite drop it. He's not hurt. He's gonna end it. All right, so Vondel. So Vondel's kind of messed up. He's bloodied. But if he goes down, things get nasty. So he could... He could healing word and then attack, particularly that critical guy. But he's down 8. He's got I believe he's a life clerk. Yeah. With a fat mod like that, the healing word isn't that bad. Because he'll get +3 more. So D4 +6, he's only down to 8. I think he's going to do that. He feels that the mission's too important. If it was just them adventuring, he might try to suck it up, but feels like that's a bad decision with other people's lives on the line. So he'll healing word himself, and he's got the Disciple of Life, which is 2 plus 1 for the level, so it's another plus 3. So so he cures himself, and then he's going to cantrip the main. He's going to try Radiant. Then he gets him. And kills him. Alright, so that was a pretty good round for him as well. Alright, start round 2. Alright, the mage. This particular mage was built mostly as a... He has told oh, no, that's his mage. He's very conventional. He's an elementalist, obviously. Looks like he's going to go down the elemental path. His frostbolt worked. He really doesn't have save or sucks. This guy's probably... which is where you would really like to be right now. So there's not... You'd have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't want to get it that close. He's going to take the -2 and just shoot over the dwarf's head with his Ray of Frost. Oh, that's a good roll. And he hits him. Oh, for a lot of damage. Still resisting it, but every little bit helps. Vondel. The Radiant worked last time. He's got an axe. It's tough to say. If they're super easy to hit, then he's better off slashing at it. The wizard probably would have mentioned it was resistant to... I think he's going to try Sacred Flame again. It's worked last time. Not going to if it's working. Oh, he saved this time though. Well, the mage. Alright. Using very simple tactic, attacks the person in front of him. And hits. Or Vondel. Yeah, makes him look good using that healing word. This guy will attack Pickworth. Missed. If 2 down. He's going to try his rapier again. It worked for him last time. Got him. See, the difference here is that if he got both daggers out, he could, if he misses one, he could do another attack and hopefully possibly get 2 chances for sneak. But his D8, big D8, he's still rolling pretty good, and a massive D6 is working. So that was 1, 2. He's gonna back up and protect the mage a little bit. 5. Make him have to take an opportunity attack to go get to the mage. And intern Pickworth. All right, he is going to use his battle axe. Got him. Oh, got him. Even though with the low roll, but that duelist probably came in a little bit there. All right, that was a glorious victory, though a very sharp fight. Bundle took a fair amount of damage. And yeah. Okay, so the encounter actually began in the father room. They're going to move up to check that out, but first they're going to consider what to do about with their wounds. Bundle's only got one more spell slot, and he's down again about halfway. They want to emphasize continuing if possible. Bundle didn't spin a hit dice, so he could short rest, which is an option. The room is currently heading this way. If they can get back out, so Bundle could do a short rest outside where it's a lot safer. I think that's their plan. They're going to see if it'll go back and see if they can get out. If not, they're going to return. I do think for the purposes of formation, the rogue is going to move up and leave Bondel back with the mage. And let's go ahead and clear out the initiatives. So he's going to stay with his wounds and temporarily he'll move up. They will basically advance into the next room and I'll look for clues. I'm starting to wonder if maybe these extraplanar things stole something, or I mean, maybe got the party, or of course, naturally, we have to look for loot. Loot, sweet loot. In fact, they do find a little bit. Probably not from them, but probably from the victims. Ooh, rich victims. There was 3 of these suckers, so these guys are going to get 39 big gold coins. That's a lot for first level. Oh my god. They find some torn backpack with gold coins in it. These are good guys, so they may well hold the treasure rather than immediately splitting it. I am going to go ahead and put it on the monster. So they could get to it later. Notice I bumped it up to 39. All right. Moment of truth. They're going to head west, hoping to get back to the stairs. They're on the early exploration table. I found a 4-way chamber. That's good. All right, so that's number 41. Should go right about there. There we go. Pretty close. And what's in there? Color ceramic tile floor, deep scratches. Oh, scratches. Maybe somebody's trying to leave them a clue. All right. So he's going to move it there, and Pickworth is going to see what he can make out. I'm going to move these guys back together so I can move them as 4-man. And he's going to try another clue. Basically, I'm looking for something in the description which would give him a chance to look for clues. So we're going to check our survival. Oh. No, sometimes the scratches are just scratches. All right. They're definitely going to head north, hoping to link up. They're kind of hopeful because we know we got 2. So we're still on the early table here. 6. Straight haul. Oh! Not what we wanted. 28. All right. That's in the straight haul. Pretty much pretty nondescript. Still looking reasonably good as far as trying to get out. They will continue. And oh, a left turn. Perfect. 23. Still not seeing any signs of clues though. All right. All right. They will boldly advance, and this is 1 room, 2 rooms. The next time they come back through a room, they got a random. They're going to charge back up the stairs, feeling they've done it good. They found a clue, done a lot of exploration. Gonna try for a short rest. Before that, I think Bren's gonna cast Mage Armor. He wasn't using it before because he wanted to kind of keep his slots. he's going to do it on himself because he's going to use arcane recovery after the short rest to get back to slot. So we'll take it off now. And on a D12, they have an encounter. They did not. So they get through another short rest. And Vondel is going to short rest. Oh, there we go. It's a sign. I don't think anybody else is hurt. So the cleric still got one spell slot. The Bren is going to do arcane recovery and recover his first level slot. So he's ready, and now he's got mage armor up. And yeah. So what is our party going to do? They came back in. They found something over here. They're thinking this area. They're going to probably go back straight and then sweep out in this direction. Is their plan. But this is probably a good stopping point, so we'll tune in next session to find out what they find.